Psychology as a subject matter is as old as man. But the scientific psychology started in the year 1879 at Leipzig, University of Leipzig in Germany, championed by Wilhelm Wundt. By the laboratory he established, scientific laboratory he established in the year 1879. Then before that, there is a man known as Descartes that talked about body and mind relationship, and he argued that mind and body are separate entities. That mind and body are separate entities that interact together to bring about human experience. Then psychology, equally, the second laboratory psychology was established in USA in the year 1885. So, being an introductory aspect of psychology, I won't want to dwell much on this, having told the brief history of psychology. Then, the origin of psychology is equally the brief history. Then, why do we study psychology? Psychology history. Psychology, first of all, before talking about why we study psychology, I have to define psychology as a subject matter and as a discourse. Psychology is the scientific study of human behavior, comprising both the overt and the covert, with the main aim of describing, explaining, predicting, and modifying the unwanted behavior for harmonious coexistence and better adjustment in life. I come again. Psychology is the scientific study of both human and animal behavior, comprising the overt and the covert, with the main aim of describing, explaining, modifying, and predicting behavior for better adjustment and harmonious coexistence in our society out there. Now we have, you can scroll it. I think you ought to do that. Then we have schools of psychology. Under the schools of psychology, schools of psychology. Under the schools of psychology, we have structuralism, we have behaviorism, we have psychoanalysis, we have functionalism, we have Gestalt psychology. Then coming to the structural schools of psychology. Before I further ahead, I'd like to let us know that in modern psychology, there are schools of psychology in modern psychology, like structuralism and functionalism is out of the modern schools of psychology. The modern schools of psychology includes like cognitive psychology, cognitive schools of psychology, behavioral school of psychology, we have humanistic school of psychology, then we have psychosocial school of psychology. But coming to the first school of psychology, which is structuralism, it was structuralism centered on the structures of the mind. That is the individual aspect of the mind, the separate parts of the mind, the structures, and how that forms our human experience, that is influences our behavior. Then behaviorism centered on the observation. And the essence of behaviorism, it was propounded by J.B. Watson, and it was intended to oppose that of behavioral structuralism. Because this one centers on observation. He said that structuralism, because of their approach to study behavior, which is what? Introspection. Structuralism used introspection, which is more of subjective, it is not objective, according to J.B. Watson, who propounded behaviorism. Structuralism is not objective, rather it is subjective because of the approach they use in studying behavior, which is introspection. That is self-examination. And then anything the person says becomes what it is. And there is no objectivity in what the person will provide out. Rather, it is more of subjective. Then J.B. Watson said that structuralism is more of what? Subjective. Is subjective. Then he propounded behaviorism, that is more of objectivity through observation. And here now, he said that the environmental stimuli through the sense organs, which is like nose, eye, mouth, tongue, and the skin. These are the 5 sense organs. That it is what the person sees in the environment that determines who the person becomes, and then how the person's behavior is being influenced, and not actually what the structure of the mind or through introspection as propounded by the structural school. that it is the physical aspect of it. Like other people, the theories under this behaviorism, we have Pavlov's theory, we have that of Pavlov, and Pavlov talked about classical conditioning. He talked about upright conditioning, and in this classical conditioning, he baked bear, the sound of bear, with food. Each time the dog is there, each time he rings bear, he will present food. Then dog hearing the sound of the bear will come, and then each time the dog comes, there will be food and the smell of food that will make the dog to salivate. Then by next tense, after he has done that thing for a while, he removed that food, and then he started ringing the sound of the bear, and the dog will come and will start to salivate without perceiving the smell of that food. So the sound of the bear has been classically conditioned. The dog is classically conditioned to respond to the sound of the bear, even when the food or the smell of food is not there. That is the classical condition. So because each time he hears the sound of the bear, the Pavlov will always present food, and he will hear the smell of the food and start to salivate. When he did it for a long time, he started ringing the bell without presenting the food, and without the dog hearing the smell of the, perceiving the smell of the food, will start to salivate. So the dog is now classically conditioned to respond to the sound of that bell without that very natural stimulus that brings about salivation, which is food and the smell of the food. Another one is what? Upright conditioning. Upright conditioning centers on what? It centers on the fact that the outcome of a behavior is determined by, the repetition of a particular behavior is determined by whether it is positive or negative. When the behavior is executed and there is no reinforcement to that behavior, especially when the behavior is good, it may not be expected to be repeated in the future. So the likelihood of repetition of a behavior is determined by the positive or negative aspect of the behavior, which is a reinforcement. We have positive reinforcement, we have negative reinforcement, determined by the particular behavior and what you want to achieve on that aspect of the behavior. So it is this aspect that determines whether positive behavior or negative reinforcement. Then psychoanalysis was propounded by Sigmund Freud in the year 1939. This propounded the three aspects of personality, which is id, ego, and the superego. He made mention of ego. Ego is the pleasure principle that seeks immediate gratification without considering how that can be achieved. Take for instance a child. A child may want to eat a food, may feel like eating food, without asking the parents or the caregiver whether the food is there or not. The child will demand for that food instantly, and if you fail to provide it, the child will start to cry without asking you whether you have the money or whether the food is there. So this is it. The pleasure principle that makes a child or a human to want something without considering how that thing can be achieved, but he needs it, and that pleasure principle, the id, will always demand immediate gratification. Then the ego serves as the mediator between the id and the superego, and it's called the reality principle. Then the superego serves as what? The conscience, the morality. This considers what is obtainable in the society. That is this obtainable? The rules, the do's and don'ts in the society. So when the ego fails to resolve the conflict between the id and the superego, then it will be moved into the unconscious towards a repression, and that will be forced to be repeated in lifetime, in future time. Humanistic psychology. This has to do with, this stresses that what motivates us and what makes us to behave the way we do is what we value and the choice we make in life. So what we value, what A values differs from what B values. Then humanistic, in the sense that what I value may differ from what we value. I may value this phone, you may value another thing. So this phone motivates me, but that which you value will motivate you, and not actually this. So what motivates them does not motivate you, and the choice you make influences your behavior and how you act on the process of acquiring that. Schools of psychology. Gestalt School of Psychology centers on what? That the whole, it says that what? A whole is greater than what? The summation of the parts. A whole is greater than the summation of the parts. According to the School of Psychology, the individual parts is not as great as the summation, as the whole of that. That is, the whole is greater than the summation of its parts. That is what this thing centers on. Like the German and the Gestalt means pattern, form, or what? Shape. Unlike behaviorists or Gestalt believes that what behavior should be what studied as an organized pattern rather than what a separate incident or entity.